Okie dokie. Let's look at the next step in all of this stuff that we're doing here. So we left off with slope-intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b, and we said m stands for slope and b stands for y-intercept. So here's kind of what we were talking about. Y equals mx plus b. Whatever number is in place of m will be the slope. Whatever number is in place of b will be the y-intercept. So what does that even mean? Well, let's look at a graph to be sure that we know. So to write an equation in slope-intercept form, you need two things, an m and a b. In other words, you need slope and y-intercept. So let's see if we can figure out what those are. It's pretty easy to start with the b, the y-intercept, because what that means is if we're looking at a coordinate plane, we know that on a coordinate plane, the horizontal line here has all the x values, right? And the vertical line, the one that goes up and down, has all of the y values. So the y-intercept is, where does the line that we drew hit the y-axis, the up and down line here? Okay, so if we're looking at this top line, this turquoise blue line, where does it hit the y-axis? It hits the y-axis right here. And the value there is 5. It's really that easy. So the y-intercept of this line is 5, and that's the b, right? B stands for y-intercept. Now let's talk about slope. In order to find slope, we need to get rid of that. In order to find slope, we need to do rise over run. Now what that means is the top number of slope is usually put in, it looks like a fraction. Sometimes it's just an integer, just a number by itself, and we'll talk about that. And often it's a fraction, okay? And the fraction will stand for, the top number is going to stand for how much up and down, okay? And the bottom number is going to stand for how much across. So let me tell you what I mean by that. So first we're going to find a couple of good points where we're crossing through an intersection. So right here, that's a good point. You can usually count on the y-intercept. And here's another good point where it goes right through the grid there. Okay, so if I'm using these 2 points to calculate the slope of this line, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start at the left point. Please start at the left when you're starting out. It's the easiest way to go. I'm going to start at the left and I'm going to try to get to the next point. Okay, so I'm going to go from this dot to this dot. So the top number asks me, how much am I going to go up or down? Well, the first question is, am I going up or down? Well, this second point is below, so I'm going to go down, right? I'm going to go down 2 spaces. So since I went down, it's a negative number, okay? So we're going to put the -2 will go on the top because we moved up or down, we moved down 2. How many now from here do I need to go over? Just 1. So the slope would be -2 over 1, and we can reduce that to -2. Okay, so now we can write an equation for this line. Because remember, if we're writing y equals mx plus b, all we got to do is substitute. The y stays the same. The m is now -2. So we're going to write -2x and then plus b. 5 is a positive, so we're going to write plus 5. That's the equation of that line. Let's look at the next one. So again, let's start with the b because it's the y-intercept and it's super duper easy. Where does this purple line cross the y-axis? Right here at -4. So b, the y-intercept, is -4. Okay, I'm going to find another dot right here. And now I'm going to count again. Remember, it's rise over run. So to get from, start on the left, to get from this dot to this dot, how far do I go up or down? Well, I need to go up 1, just 1. So the top number is going to be a 1, a positive 1. And then how much do I need to go over? 1, 2. So my slope is 1/2, and my y-intercept is -4. So I can write y equals, let's go ahead and fill the m in. The m is 1/2. Don't forget to write the x. And then the b is -4, so we write -4 or -4.